What's the deal, YouTube? I'm back in the building, man. What's the deal? What's the deal? What's the deal? What's the deal, YouTube? It is Kali the one, and I am back in the building, man. If you guys are watching this, please like, subscribe, share. Thank you for the love, for the hate. It's all support. Also, if you are watching, please make sure you head over to the Viral Way podcast, like, subscribe, share, run us up, get us in the algorithm, man. Help us keep the movement moving. 1 second here, trying to fix that. All right, without further ado, I want to get right into the first topic of the day. Um, Slim Thug, which is a rapper. You guys have heard of him probably before. He's had some controversial moments in the past with some of the things that he said about the Diddy and Cassie case and so on and so forth. He did come out with a video talking about how Black people in 2025 need to stop blaming slavery for our problems. So I'm going to play that video and we're going to get into it. See if it even worked, because it might not. You know what I'm saying? Bookmarks. Present. Here we go.
That was 2025. We can't blame white folks no more. We gotta let that go, kid. 2025. We can't blame white folks no more. We gotta let that go, kid. Them people, that wasn't even these people. That was some people before them. So at the end of the day, everybody showed us they can do it from scratch. So we can't be waiting on nobody to give us nothing. Everybody just gotta do it, no matter where you come from. You gotta do it from scratch. I ain't had shit and look at me now. So if I could have did it, you could have did it now. We gotta stop making excuses. Stop waiting on motherfuckers. We gotta take advantage of this shit. We gotta be happy on purpose, doing shit that make us happy. Them people.
All right. So as you guys heard, he pretty much was saying that, the people that are alive today didn't even have nothing to do with slavery. And for that reason, we should stop blaming white people or slavery for what's been going on for us. Um, he also talked about how, if he could do it, everybody could do it. So pretty much he's saying that we're still using this as an excuse. How I feel about it, keep it 100. I think Slim Thug is correct, man. Listen, we know there's systemic racism within the system. We know that healthcare system's against us. We know law enforcement's against us. We know that we have a harder time getting loans and all these other different things. We know that we're perceived a certain way, right, as Black people. But we've been perceived that way for years at this point, y'all. And at what point do we stop trying to change others and change ourselves as Black people? Black people always want to focus on what other people are doing, how they're treating us, what they're getting, how they're moving through life instead of worrying about ourselves. You could take it as any relationship. You cannot change a person, no matter how hard you try. You could talk to your blue in the face. You can give them every example of correlation, all these different connections. And the only thing that's going to make them understand and want to do better and want to change is themselves. So when we're talking about white America and we're talking about slavery and we're going back in the past, and slavery has been the foundation for Black Americans, and this has set a precedent of how we act and how we treat people and how we maneuver through the world. But not only that, but it's also set a precedent for how people act towards us and the things that maybe we receive. But at this point in time, we got to cut the shit. We can't keep blaming something that happened 400 years ago on today's time. We want to make all these excuses. We want to sit up here and again, I'm not negating the fact that Black people are being put through shit. I'm not negating the fact that there's systemic issues and stacked against us. But what I'm saying is that we have too many examples out here in the real world of Black people getting to it to continuously blaming slavery at this point in time. We have too many successful Black people, entrepreneurs, doctors, lawyers, businessmen, construction workers, nurses, all different police officers, firefighters. We have representation in all fields, maybe not as much as we would like, but we have enough for kids to look at and say, okay, this is what I want to be when I grow up. Or adults to look at and say, okay, I could go follow that path. And so, yes, did slavery happen? Of course it happened. We can't take it back now. All we can do is focus on fixing ourselves. In my opinion, we got to stop talking about the shit. We got to come to a point where we're so focused on success for ourselves and for our culture that we're not even worried about how these other people treat us. Because if we can get more knowledge, if we can become more of a force with economics and education and in all these other different things in these fields in the world, they're not going to have no choice but to respect us. You know, you might not like us, but you damn sure going to respect us. And see, that's the problem. We don't have the respect as a culture right now at this point in time. We just don't got it. And it's partly because we keep blaming the past. Y'all want to blame immigrants for taking your jobs, right? At the warehouse and on the forklift and truck driving. Y'all want to blame immigrants for that. But you don't want to blame black people for setting a bad example at these workplaces. You don't want to blame the nigga that come to work late, that comes to work smelling like weed, that has an attitude problem, that is trying to get at the bitch that works at the front desk, that doesn't want to follow rules. He don't want to cover up his tattoos. He doesn't want to do certain things to get by. When they ask if you want to pick up an extra hour or extra 2 hours, you always say no. You always the last there and the first to leave. But somehow you guys want people to respect us. Somehow you want to be moving up in the world. But you don't want to put in the work. You don't want to network. You don't want to learn. You don't want to grow. But you want things handed to you. And this is a problem that we do have in our culture. We have to keep it 100 with ourselves. At this point in time, we should not be still blaming slavery. Most of us didn't even go through it. So to continuously blame something that we did not go through is ridiculous. And yes, it has shaped the way certain things are viewed and certain things that we can do. But me, myself, and other black men that I've surrounded myself with, I don't see them firsthand having any issues with slavery at this point. I'm around successful black men, successful black women. I see them on TV and in real life. So this notion that slavery is still holding us back is blasphemous at this point. Now, there's certain hurdles and loopholes that have been created because of it, but it's not something that has just came out the blue. It's not something that has not existed. Your daddy, your daddy's daddy, and your daddy's daddy's daddy dealt with it already. So at what point do we say, okay, if my father's father dealt with it, at what point do we as black men and women flip a switch? At what point do we say, okay, this is what we need to do better now by the third generation? When do we do that? When do we do that? We will sit up here and complain about the same rules and regulations and the same hurdles and obstacles that have been going on for 3 generations. So we did all that complaining from generations 1 to 3. But within that 1 to 3 generations, we never did anything to get ourselves out of the rut that we put ourselves in or that we were put in. Not once. So again, we're in the middle of the ocean on a buoy and we just waiting for somebody to come when land is right there that we can swim to. Because that's how we think a lot of times, bro. We're so used to talking the talk but not walking the walk and being praised for it, that now that y'all are starting to really see what's going on in the world, it's a hard pill to swallow. It's a hard fucking pill to swallow. We got to do better. We spent all this time complaining. We spent all this time pointing the finger at racism. We spent all this time pointing the finger at slavery, which again, those things have affected us. But to still be doing it in generation 3 and 4 and 5, but to not, on this other hand, have came up with a solution is nuts. We're just complaining at this point to complain. That is what we're doing. There's a whole list of circumstances that we understand, that keep us oppressed to a certain degree. But that should not stop no black person from going out there and getting it. Your ancestors, what happened to your ancestors scaring you away from going and get that 9 to 5 or going to get that $100,000 a year job is crazy. But see, a lot of us want to use slavery and we want to use racism as a crutch. I'm going to keep reiterating this. It's there. Systemic racism exists. Those things do exist. But that doesn't mean you stop moving forward and trying to kick these doors down. A lot of us use it as a crutch because in reality, a lot of us don't want to put in the work. A lot of us don't want to be in uncomfortable situations. A lot of us don't want to. A lot of us don't want to do the work that it takes to get into some of these rooms. We want it handed to us. We want special treatment because of what our ancestors went through. You're not your ancestors. You are not your ancestors. Your ancestors are the people that got us to the point we're at. And now we're at a point where we're stagnant. We have plateaued because we have King's disease, believe it or not. We sit here and we talk about slavery and we talk about how things have affected us negatively. But we talking about that stuff and we're up in arms about that stuff in our cushy apartment, driving our $1,000 car payment car, going on trips. So nobody's really hungry enough or really upset enough to actually go and change the trajectory of our culture. Nobody is. They just want to continue to complain about it. That's all niggas want to do. That's all niggas want to do. Niggas will rather point fingers at everybody. And let me tell you something. This isn't just a black problem. It's an American problem. We talking about the H-1B visas. Same shit. White people pointing the finger. Black people pointing the finger. Asians pointing. Everybody points the finger at everything but themselves. Niggas point the finger at Vivek. Oh, Vivek doesn't know what he's talking about. Yeah, he does. Because let's keep it 100. What is American culture predicated on? Consumerism, being lazy, attendance. Oh, you get an award for perfect attendance just for showing up. Soft ass parenting, stupid ass protest, no family structure. Men and women can't get along. Men acting like bitches, bitches acting like niggas. This is not just in black culture. This is in races in general across the board in America. So when you got these people on the outside looking in that have a good family structure, that understand hard work, that have good character and ethics and morals because they were grown or raised in an environment where those things were important and futile for survival. So they're looking at America like a gold mine. So when they come over here, they willing to roll their sleeves up and get to work. All them jobs that we don't want, that niggas don't want, that they think they too good for, yeah, they're going to come and take it. And in 2 to 3 years, after they done doing that and they get that experience, they're going to be on to the next job or they're going to start their own business. They're going to pass on some business card to some homies or to some family. They're going to come work for them. While we sit here and we point at them. Oh, look at the Mexicans. Oh, look at the Indians. They passing us up. And it's white people's fault. At one point, we're going to have to sit up here and say, it's our fault. We spent all this time pointing the finger at everybody else. But again, we're still doing the same stupid shit. We still got the same stupid habits. We still want to be seen the same way. We don't want to change, but we want people to look at us differently. It don't work like that. Slim Thug is 100% correct. He's 100% correct. We have to stop living in the past. We'll never have a great future if we continue to live in the past. Ever. Energy is a big part of why the black culture cannot get ahead. We're so stuck in negative energy. Look at us. All we can think about is the negatives. Negative music sales, negative book sale, negative movie sale. Everything that sells in black culture is negative. Shit that's positive gets laughed at. This shit is subconscious programming. And while white America has done it to us, we've done it to ourselves. Because we see ourselves in that negative imagery. And then we go and we reinforce it and reinforce it and reinforce it. Until now we're at a point where niggas don't want to hear the slavery shit. White people don't want to hear it. You think some dude, if you live in the burbs and you walk outside your house and Timmy lives right next to you, you think Timmy want to hear about slavery when you living in the same house as him, driving the same cars as him, going to the same schools as him? Y'all think Timmy want to hear that shit? Y'all think these other races care? How could people care about our struggle and care about slavery when we're still acting like ignorant ass niggas today in 2025? Again, these things exist. They're here to oppress us to a certain degree. But Nothing comes easy. We got to continue to fight. Unfortunately, that is the path that we have in America as blacks. You're going to get a door shut in your face before you get to the next one. That's just life in general. You don't got to connect everything to slavery, and that's our problem. Hold on, what this person said. That's the problem. We have to start taking accountability for actions. We can't say we're in a bad position, but then turn around and keep doing what we're doing that got us in a bad position in the first place. Black people want more loans and more access to money, but can't have good credit. Everything they get, they default on. How you expect to get a better house? How you expect to get a better car? Black people want better jobs, but when they go into work, they act a fool and they act the ass. And then we go outside and we talk about slavery and what it did to us and how it oppressed us. And that's where we're stuck. We're stuck in this negative cycle and circle that ultimately is where we are. And that's why we can't get ahead. So Slim Thug is right. You got to do for self. You have to wake up and do for self. Systemic racism exists. That ain't never stopped me from getting no chip ever. And it shouldn't. It shouldn't stop nobody. It should not stop anybody. But Americans have American privilege. And that's what I'm saying. We would rather point the finger at everybody else in the past and everything instead of focusing on the present and planning for the future. Black Americans will continue to fail until we stop focusing on the past and start focusing on the present and planning for the future. If we keep harping on the same negative energy and being in the same negative cycle, we're never going to get ahead. If we keep over-consuming, if we keep laughing at the overachievers for being a certain way or the squares for being a certain way, we're never going to get ahead, ever. Just not going to happen. And that's America in general. Niggas love instant gratification and they don't want to do no work. That's damn near every race in America at this point. So why are we still blaming slavery at this point? If I could go and do everything you could do, I can't be kicked out of no buildings. I can't not get a job. It's illegal to discriminate. I can go get a loan, right? I can go do all of these things, the same shit that white Americans can do. I'm sorry. Same thing Mexican Americans can do. Same thing Asian Americans can do. Same thing African Americans can do. We all have the ability and the opportunity to do the same thing. Now it's up to us as a culture if we're going to do it or not. But niggas don't want to admit that us as black people a lot of times are just lazy, bro. And we use certain things as a crutch to cover up the fact that we are lazy. And that's a fact. Stereotypes, while to a certain degree, they're stereotypes, they're true. There's some truth to it. When are we going to get over what happened and move on? I'm not saying to forget. I'm not even saying to forgive. But I'm just saying to move on to something else at this point. It's 2025. We're still talking about slavery as if it's affecting me right now. And I'm going to keep it 100. It's not affecting me right now. There's microaggressions. Yes. There's systemic oppressions. Yes. But again, that's not going to stop me. When do we stop letting it stop us? When do we stop using slavery as a crutch? As a cloak for us not taking accountability for what we're supposed to do in this world? Tell me. You even look at a lot of our black men in jail. Niggas got a whole list of excuses of why they went into jail besides their own self. No, you went to jail because you was stupid. You was fucking off. You can't blame nobody else for that. Then niggas want to talk about mass incarceration, all these different things. Again, we go to the pitfalls that they set up for us. But if your dad and your daddy's dad went to jail and you the third, now you the new nigga that's coming up in the family, at what point do you take accountability and learn from their lessons? The wisest man learns from everybody else's mistakes. Y'all niggas want to go through it to then be like, okay, I don't gotta go through shit. I didn't have to go through shit to say, okay, I'm not supposed to be doing that. I just looked at the outcome of niggas and like, all right, I'm cool. But even in that, we don't take accountability for anything. Niggas going to jail, niggas gangbanging. That's stupid shit. Let's keep it 100. You're not cool for that. Niggas who gangbang and who are old and still, it's like a 35-year-old talking about his high school football days still wearing his Letterman. The fuck is you doing? But don't got nothing to show for it. Don't got a pot to piss in. But you twisting your fingers though. It's stupid shit. But we're gonna go blame slavery instead of blaming that. You're gonna blame mass incarceration instead of blaming you for putting yourself in a bird's eye view, in a line of sight view. You niggas get on the block, you do stupid shit, you break the law, and then when you get arrested, well, I didn't have no other outlet. I was living in a impoverished neighborhood. Everybody else was banging, so it just came natural. So you're a follower. My point. Niggas follow. But then want to blame slavery. You followed the dumb niggas that already showed you they was dumb niggas. But then we want to go back and blame slavery. Then we want to go back and blame mass incarceration. We got deadbeat dads in black culture. What would we go blame though? Oh, you know, welfare took the man out the house and it separated us because women didn't want men in the house now because they knew they were going to get a check or more money for not having a man in the house. Has that been proven to a certain degree to be true? Yes. But again, something still has to go on for two people to split. And back in the 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s and 2000s, before this information was privy to us, we had no idea what was going on. We had no idea these forces were at play. So something else had to be going on inside those homes. 60 years later, 50 years later, niggas are blaming welfare now. Instead of blaming the fathers, the black fathers that was deadbeats. Blame them. Don't blame something else because the system and the rules and the regulations are what they are, whether you like it or not. But you don't have to succumb to that. Just because 85% of black fathers are deadbeats at a certain point in time don't mean you got to be a deadbeat. Just because 1 in every 4 or 3 black men are going to jail don't mean you got to be those 1 in 3. Just because niggas act a certain way at work don't mean you have to do it. But we follow the negative imagery and the negative examples. And then when shit hits the fan, what do? We go to blaming everything else but ourselves. We point the fingers at the system, point fingers at the neighbors and other races, and do all this shit instead of saying, what did I do wrong to end up in this situation? Black people, we need to take a mirror, a big ass mirror, and we need to look into it. Stare right back at yourselves. If we had more kids in STEM, if we had more kids in books and in arts and crafts and these different things early on, we'd have less gangbangers. If that's what y'all don't understand. Like, the system can only do so much to us to where at some point we just let them do it to us. If you can't beat them, join them. Fuck it, crack flood in the streets. Niggas didn't at that point in time think about anything. Nobody questioned why this was on the streets. Nobody questioned why they were seeing crackheads running down the street butt ass naked doing wild shit. No, we just said, you know what? That's a way to get rich. That's a way to get rich. Fuck it. We never thought about the consequences, the neighborhoods we was killing. Come on. Then you go 20, 30 years later after the crack epidemic is done, and what do? We blame the crack epidemic. We blame the system. We blame Reagan. They put them drugs in the neighborhood, but they didn't put it in your hand and tell you to cook it. They didn't tell you to go out there and sell it. They didn't tell you to go out there and promote it. They actually got on national TV and said, say no to drugs. And you niggas went and still sold them because you wanted to get rich quick because there is no long game with black America. There is no foresight. There is no foreshadowing. Niggas just live for today and that's it. Oh, I could die at any moment, so I'm living life to the fullest. In my opinion, there's a difference between living life to the fullest and living like a fucking idiot. And a lot of us in our culture, we live like fucking idiots. Living your life to the fullest is not traveling when you don't got no bread. Living your life to the fullest is not buying all this other shit and you don't even got a pot to piss in. That is not living your life to the fullest. Black people confuse stability with being boring and chaos with fun. And that's just what it is. But when shit hits the fan, we'll find something to blame. We'll find someone to blame. And again, we can't be 100% to blame because we know the system is what it is. But at some point, if you've been watching game tape for 15 years and you still can't beat the team or get around it or go take another route, that's on you. You can't keep blaming motherfuckers that's dead and gone. And black people are we're so good at lacking accountability that we're blaming our ancestors for the points we're in. We're blaming the only people who actually fought, actually shed blood, sweat, and tears. We're blaming those people for where we are today. You have people trying to say MLK and Malcolm X's efforts were in vain. You got people saying segregation was better than now. All because now it's not the situation that they wanted it to be. So you got to go back and you got to blame something. Oh, this was all a trap. Civil rights was a trap. Niggas just say anything, bro. Niggas get hopped up in the barbershop, start talking about shit, and don't really look at the real world. But it's all excuses, a lot of it. At some point, it's excuses. We'll find something to blame. Think about every example I've given. I've given family, we blame welfare. I give niggas out in the streets doing stupid shit, we blame the government. We blame Reagan. We blame mass incarceration. We can't get ahead in certain things, we blame slavery. I'm not saying it can't be to blame at all, but come on now. Y'all could do better than that. We can do way better than that. We want to blame everything instead of taking accountability. And that's the problem that I have. I'm not saying to be ignorant to the facts of what it is, but to keep using these things as a crutch is ridiculous. I'm over it. I know a lot of black men and women are over it as well. But we need everybody to be over it at some point. Like I said, we even to the point where we blaming MLK. We blaming the niggas who actually fought for us. That's bad. We've blamed everybody but ourselves, y'all. Everybody. And honestly, our time has ran out, black people. We already didn't have sympathy, but the little sympathy we had from others, it's over with. It's gone. And the reason why the little sympathy that we had is gone is because if I throw a nigga a life vest and he rip it up and then scream, "Hey, I'm drowning," I'm not going to throw you another one, bro. I'm not going to do it. We've been thrown life vests. Believe it or not. We just didn't take them all the time. Or some of us did, but not enough. Not enough of us have bought in to certain systems and certain ways of living and certain mindsets. Not enough of us have bought in to progression, into being a better culture. As much as we talk the talk, we don't walk the walk. Because if we really bought into a higher learning, the higher powers and more knowledge, we wouldn't be gangbanging still. We wouldn't be slapping Sexy Red still. We wouldn't still be calling niggas squares. We wouldn't still be blaming slavery. All these things prove that we are still lacking accountability and we're not where we're supposed to be. That's how I look at it. We got to do better. Stop blaming slavery. As real as it was, we did not go through it. What we need to be doing is thanking our ancestors and whatever higher power you believe in for you not coming along in that time. Because you got to come along in a time when you had access to better education. You had more opportunities, more jobs. You could walk around with your little white bitch, your little snow bunny, and be fine. We got all that. You can go travel across the world. You can do all that. So the time is not now to talk about slavery. What we're supposed to do now is progress. Anything besides that is bullshit, and we got to throw it out. 2025, drawing a line in the sand. If you're a black person that's going to continue to make excuses, continue to use the past as a crutch, but at the same time not do what you're supposed to do to make yourself a better example for us as black people, I don't want to hear it. I'm done. I always tell people, you don't gotta go save 1 million black people. You don't gotta go open a business or do something grand, because a lot of us, let's keep it 100, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna. The statistics show a lot of us cannot do that, and that's in every race. What you can do is get your credit right. Right. What you can do is make sure your kids grow up in a 2-parent household. What you can do is make sure your boys are masculine and your women are feminine. What you can do is limit the negative imagery that it comes into your house. What you can do is make the foundation of your children's upbringing hard work, ethics, and morals. What you can do is set your kids up for the future. Black people, that's what we can do right now. So let's do that instead of complaining about something that happened 400 years ago. Y'all might not want to hear it, but at this point, it's bullshit, and everybody else is tired of hearing it too. We're all tired of hearing it. You can't blame slavery when you got niggas doing smash and grabs. You can't make people have sympathy for that. When they see this on TV, but then they see another thing. You just can't. Got to do better. White women got the NFL on lock, man. Let's talk about it. Let's fucking talk about it. We had already talked about this before. If you know, you know. Check it out on the Viral Way podcast. We talked about it a while ago. But we're going to get into it again because another tweet is going viral about white women having an NFL on lock. Let me pull it up now and show y'all, because it's interesting to me. I think it's funny. And there's somebody else right now by the name of Eve that just took a picture with a full-on white family. Cricket star. So we're going to get into that because I find that interesting. Here we go. Show y'all. Oh, mad as hell, huh? That boy love her. Dr. Umar, where you at when we need you? Nah, man, look, this is what I really think about the situation. Yes, a lot of men in the NFL date white women. The reason being is some could be self-hate. I think that's definitely a factor that comes into play when people date interracially. Not everybody, but you do have black men that specifically want to date outside of their race because they don't like black women or they don't like their mama, and black women remind them of their mama. That's a deeper conversation, right? About if you wanted your son or your daughter to like your culture, they have to like you to a certain degree. So if my mama is black and all she do is say, you remind me of your stupid ass daddy and talk down to me and doesn't speak life into me as a child, or we always bump heads as a child, when I get to an adult, I might not want to date black women. Because when I look at black women, I'm seeing my mother, and my mother, we didn't have a good relationship. So in my opinion, while I think a lot of times there is some self-hate in there, you got to peel the curtain back as to why. How was bro's mom when he was growing up? Then when you look at that, it might change the situation. Because if you got like I said, a disrespectful ass mom or a single mother that's come home with different niggas talking to you crazy, whatever the case is, you might not want to pick that out there in the world. Hey, and on top of that, everybody can choose who they want. Right? 2, men in the NFL go to collegiate D1 colleges. There's white women in those colleges. And in PWIs, there's white women. There's not a bunch of black women running around. Right? And a lot of these football players, that are getting picked up are not conventionally attractive to black women. Black women ain't like no Russell Wilson. Black women ain't gonna like no Travis Hunter. Come on, what are we talking about? Black women look at Travis Hunter and they talking about his lips and his nose and his hair. Nigga ugly. Black women looking at Russell Wilson. Oh, that square ass nigga. I don't want him. Right. Other NFL player, all that niggas this and that, whatever. These niggas are nerds. These niggas are ugly, whatever. So when bro go finally go get him a white girl, now it's a problem. But he wasn't conventionally attractive to black women. Or his head was too much in the books or too much into football. He didn't have time to go and chase your ass around and argue outside of restaurants and shit. Or worry about who's fucking who. When niggas go on a mission, they don't got time for that. So when you get into college at a PWI, now you're around people, like-minded people. And this is the problem. This is a big problem that black women have. This is a hard pill for black women to swallow. A lot of these black men in these D1 colleges, they're around people that are like-minded like them. So now I get around the woman who's on her mission, or I get around a white woman who's a major in, whatever it is, hospitality. She has a major in business. She has a major in economics, whatever the case is. Okay. She got her own shit. So now she asking me, hey, what you want to eat after practice? Okay. Want me to rub your back? I got your clothes out ready for you. Because this is how they're taught. Their dads be coaches. They didn't already fuck the black football player in high school and in middle school. So they already know what it is. And they're willing to cater. Not only are they willing to cater, but they also had their own shit. They're not meeting you day one, giving you a list of shit of what you're supposed to do for them. They taking it as it go. White bitches love a little ice cream date. Love that shit. So when these black men get over here and they're used to a hostile situation with black women, because not all black women, but there's a lot of black women that are hostile. Let's keep it 100. Let's just keep it 100. At some point, when you finally get up out that environment, you don't want that shit no more. And again, going back to my first topic of the day, black women, black people in general, would rather go point the finger at everybody else than blaming themselves. Black women would rather go say, man, these niggas self-hate. They don't love black women. They don't protect us, but they don't want to look at themselves. Did you make yourself hard to protect? Did you make your house a home? Did you speak life into bro? Did you really go look and really go retrace your steps of the relationship and when you was dealing with old boy and tell me if those are the things that you did? Did you provide peace over chaos? Did you help him reach his goals? Or did you just want to drain his pockets or get mad because he didn't want to do X, Y, and Z? Or make fun of him because of his look or he was too corny, etc. Or did you do that shit? See, people don't want to look at it that way until now it's standing right in front of your face. Now boy is with a white girl. Now it's, oh, well, he just hates himself. He hates his mother. No, nigga, he probably felt like his mother hated him and he felt like you hated him. So as soon as he got up out of that situation, I'm going to get something new. Because what the fuck? I'll be damned. And this isn't me, but I feel like this is how a lot of football players feel. I'll be damned if I'm going to practice 2 days doing all this shit and I got to come home with a bitch that's going to nag me. Let's go ask what I was doing. Ask where I'm at. Be making up all different types of shit besides staying on path. Fucking my path up. I'll be damned if I put all of that work in to fuck around with that or have one of these elevator camera movies come out of us wrestling in the elevator or some bullshit. Come on, man. Niggas ain't doing that. That's out. That's out. People don't understand that. Black women don't understand that. Hold on. Y'all want to blame Becky and y'all want to blame Becky and y'all want to blame Daquan. Oh, he hate himself and Becky, she's making it harder for us instead of blaming yourself, just like I said. How many niggas you turn away with your mouth and your attitude? How many niggas? How many niggas you talk disrespectful to? How many niggas you tell them they ain't shit just because they didn't want to go pick up your ice cream after work or some bullshit? How many times do you weaponize certain things against black men? See, but black women don't want to go back and retrace their steps of this shit. But they want to get mad on NFL draft day or when they see a black man getting on one knee to date a white bitch. But what y'all fail to realize is now that that black man is out of that hostile environment, he can be a whole new person. And more than likely, because of the hostile environment, because of the things he lacked in his childhood, he's looking for what he lacked. And it might not come in the shape of a white girl. It might be a black girl at the college. But what y'all aren't understanding is when you get to these colleges and you're dealing with a girl that is collegiate educated, came up under a mother and a father, her upbringing, her attitude, her actions, all of that is going to be different. All of it. So now you're telling the dude that got out of a hostile environment to turn around and go back into it because he don't want people to be mad at him for dating a white girl. That's out. That's out. And the funny part, the super funny part is you look at Eve. Eve just posted up on Christmas with a whole white family. Nobody says nothing. Nobody says shit when a black woman dates a white man. When a black woman dates a white man, it's go sis, you the shit. Finally got tired of them niggas, huh? That white man gonna treat you right. Oh, you gonna gave the white man some flavor. XYZ, all this shit, parading that shit all the way around. Black man dates a white woman and it's all hell break loose. It's chaos. This nigga hate himself. He hate his mom. Corny ass nigga, etc., etc. So when black women date a white man, it's looked as dating up. But when a black woman dates a white man, it's viewed as a dating up. When a black man dates a white woman, it's viewed as dating down. But if we're gonna keep it all the way 100 at this point in time, if I'm coming from the hood with all these hood rat bitches, and I go into this environment, and now I might be around collegiate educated black girls. I'm around collegiate educated Latina girls. I'm around collegiate educated white women. They're better than you. Period. That's what it is. Y'all have to get that through your head. You got to get that through your head. You're not the pick. If you were the pick, he would have picked you. But again, I keep circling back to this point of us blaming everybody but ourselves. Black women, instead of getting in the gym, instead of focusing on being more feminine, instead of focusing on getting rid of the negative traits that we all have as Black Americans from growing up maybe in single parent homes and in certain environments, instead of getting rid of all of that shit, going to therapy, doing all the things you need to do to be 100% sound woman, you don't do it. You continue to relish in the negatives of our culture, but then you want to complain when a black dude doesn't take your hand after he done got some money. But when he didn't have no money, he was getting treated like shit. It's not fair. Why do you think Eve picked the white man? Because she just fell in love? I mean, that's what everybody's saying. Oh, love who you want. It's love who you want when Eve do it. But when Reeves do it, it's he hates himself. I'm so tired of the double standard with that. I'm tired of it. And really, if we're going to keep it 100, the same shit black women say about black men for dating white women, it's true about black women. Black women love to say, oh, you dating a white girl because she gonna let you do whatever you want. She gonna let you talk to you however you want. You can cheat on her all you want. White women are dumb. Right? That's what they say. That's why you want her, because she easier to deal with. She easier to get over with. She easier to bullshit. What the fuck you dating that white man for? The fuck you dating that white man for? He'll walk and lick to you. Let's keep it 100. But no. When a black woman date a white man, it's because of love. When we dating a white woman, it's because we can easily manipulate her and X, Y, and Z. We can easily manipulate women, period. Fuck, it don't matter about a color on a face. Fuck is we talking about? So the same thing can be said for black women. Y'all get with a square ass white dude from Sweden or something and break his pockets down. You can control him completely because he's the feminine one. He's not gonna match your energy. He's not gonna match your aggressiveness. He low-key probably scared of you a little bit. Not in I'm gonna beat you up way, but he knows you're a strong woman. So he's more calm. He probably don't care. He probably let you get off. Now, if you go and went and dated a black man, he might not be okay with putting up with all of the shit that Timmy, the Silicon Valley dude, is okay with putting up with. And in my opinion, we've seen that more than we've seen the flip side. So the same thing can be said for black women. What the fuck you dating that white dude for? Because you know you're gonna get over on him, right? You know that you're gonna be the strong one in the relationship. Let's keep it 100. But nobody points it out when it's a woman doing it. They only point it out when it's a man doing it. It's bullshit. Stop blaming all of this other shit and blame yourself. If you want a D1 football player as a black woman so bad, go to a D1 school. Go get a college education. Go get in sports. Go get in the fucking gym. Stop sitting at home, taking pink pussy pills, drinking Hennessy, thinking you're going to get a D1 football player. It ain't going to happen because you're not even in the environments to be there. You're not at the country club. You're not at a D1 college. You're not at the games. You're at the strip club. You're at the club. You at the house party. You in the set. You at the hood day. You doing all this shit, but you think you'll get a D1 football player. It's cat. It's not gonna happen. Only an idiot like I said, would get out of all of that hostile shit in the hood and in the black community. Only an idiot would get out of that to come right back in. Hell no, I'm out of there. I'm up out of there. I just love the differences though in how it's treated when somebody who's black, who's a man who does it, and somebody who's black who's a woman does it. In my eyes, you love who you love. And quite frankly, you should match more with personality, not skin color. That's just me. That's how I feel. You shouldn't be matching solely off of skin color. People say, "Oh, you don't love yourself if you don't date somebody that's black." How many negative black? Look at Remy and Papoose. Look at Remy and Papoose. We talk about black love and you know, but black love can still be demoralizing for black culture. It can still make black culture look worse. You got niggas fighting outside and all these different toxic relationships within black culture. Niggas beating their wives beating them. All this different types of stuff. Like, come on. It don't make sense to me. And we really sit up here, and black women sit up here naive or acting like they didn't do anything to push black men away. And that's bullshit. That is bullshit. Our own, this is what I'm trying to tell people. This is what people don't understand. A lot of these men grow up in a home where their mother hated their father and their father was black. So that hate gets passed down to the child. It gets passed down to the son. And now they hate the son and they talk to the son the same way they talk to his daddy. For 18 years. You did all of that pushing him away. Then he gets out into the world. He's going to look at everybody that looks like you like that. Like they're you. Y'all don't understand what y'all are doing. But y'all want to go blame Becky. Or y'all want to go say he hate himself. But y'all don't want to look at what you might have done to push him to that edge. 18 years of being in my ear, yapping, doing all this bullshit. You think I'm going to want to date somebody just like that? Hell no. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Nobody want to take accountability though. Especially not black women. They want to point the finger more and more and more and more and more. You can't be mad because these white bitches are out here popping it or they're out here getting these niggas. You can't be mad about that. What all you can do is put yourself in a lionized view and let the lion choose. Because if I'm in the NFL and I'm bred up, I'm the nigga who picking. So if you want to be picked, come up here on this podium. I'm supposed to go where am I supposed to go to find you? You're not here. And then you have the reverse effect. If you have the collegiate educated black girls that don't want to date the black dudes. They got the whole Zendaya thing going on now. Now they dating Timothy Chalamet and Tom Holland. They doing that shit. So it's happening on both fronts, but only one side is not being praised for it while the other is. People are even saying, oh, black mom and white dad is better than black dad and white. What the fuck is we talking about? Anything to make the woman look better and the man look worse. Crazy. So shout out to dude. Shout out to dude for doing what he wants to do, because I think everybody should. I think you should date whoever you want to date. Personality match. I'm not gonna date a dummy because I'm not dumb. If you black and you're smart and I match with you personality and mindset wise, cool. If you're white and I match with you mindset wise, cool. That's who I'm going with. I'm not doing shit to please people that don't put no food in my mouth, don't pay none of my bills, don't protect none of my kids, don't do shit for me. Everybody's pro-black when a black man get out on one knee to date a fucking white girl. But then you go home to that same abusive ass relationship. You're not feeding your kids. You're not putting nothing good in their head. You got them living in shit. You're not prepping them for the future. You're doing all this shit to fuck up black culture. Because yes, by you raising your kid up a certain way, and when he gets out in the street and he fucks shit up, that's because of you too. So y'all do all of that shit. But draw the line or then become pro-black. After you done destroyed the culture for 18 years, then become pro-black when you see a black football player dating a white girl. Get out of here. Get out of here. If y'all wanted black men and women to date each other more, y'all would show love more in your homes. Straight up. You would show more love in your home. Black women and black men, the way they talk to each other at the home is not good. So I keep going back to this because it goes back to childhood and people don't understand that. If I grow up in a hostile environment and I see a black woman and a black man yelling at each other and I'm able to get out of that, I'm not turning back to it. You can't blame people for being jaded that way when that's what they see. Now, is that right? No. And some people you're able to, feed the medicine to and say, okay, man, you're putting the view of your mother or your father on all women or all men, and you can't do that. Right? Because a lot of people don't realize that's what they're doing. A lot of them like, yeah, I don't like black girls. Why? I just don't like them. But go really sit them down and talk about their life and their family, and then you'll see, okay, this is where this is coming from. You have built up some resentment. You have built up some hate, but it's due to the situations that are going on at home. So then when you get out in the real world, you're trying to be the complete opposite of that. But nobody wants to attack that. Nobody wants to get into the cause. They just want to talk about the effect. And that's the problem in our community, especially with this. We got to understand that. If we did better at home, we would have a lot less of these people dating outside their race. Because we're like, okay, I seen black love at home, so I already know what to go do. The same way the white people see white mom, white dad, Mexican people see Mexican mom, Mexican dad. Cool. Even when people be divorced, bro. In our culture, we be divorced and be fighting over that. When you gonna come get the kid, or I can't get the kid this week, or all this extra shit, or don't believe everything your mama say, or don't believe everything. We doing all this bullshit. Then you see some white kids or some other kids. Yeah, I go to mom's Monday through Friday. I go to dad's Saturday through Sunday. Everything's cool. We not bad mouthing each other. None of that. So a lot of it starts at home, and y'all don't want to blame that. Y'all want to blame everybody else, and y'all want to dig. And this is the funny part. When a black man marries a white woman, y'all are doing the exact thing that I'm telling y'all pushed him away in the first place. As soon as y'all see him get down on one knee, y'all start nagging, complaining, insulting, right? Doing all of that shit. And those are the exact things that pushed him in that position anyway, believe it or not. Because 9 out of 10, that was his life. Getting nagged, complained on, and insulted. Those are the very things that pushed him into Becky's arms. Y'all don't want to believe that, though. Black women, treat your black man better. Speak more life into him. Become a high-value woman, if that's what we even want to call it. Get into them situations. Go play ball with the rest of them. This whole episode that's what it's predicated off of. We need to go play ball. We are too much of talkers and not enough of doing. We love to sit on the sidelines and yap like we really are in the game, and we're not. We're not in the fucking game. our women getting outclassed, our men getting outclassed, and all we do is this. All we do is chit chat, talk, yap, 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 yap. That's all we do from the fucking bench while the rest of these races are in the fucking game, making it happen and scoring points. We want to blame, like I said, we want to blame slavery. We sitting from the bench. Oh, our community's terrible. But you on the bench. You ain't even in the game. You ain't go to school. You ain't got no business. You ain't got no good credit score. What the fuck is you doing? You on the bench, nigga. You're not contributing to the culture in a good way, but you got a lot to say. Black women. Oh, this nigga hate himself. This is why our culture is fucked up. But you on the bench. You ain't at these D1 colleges. You ain't trying to help bro go catch rebounds at the gym. You're not speaking life into bro. So how the fuck y'all expect shit to be better in the game when y'all on the bench and all y'all doing is yapping like some fucking water boys? That's all we doing. That's all we doing, bro. The shit is crazy to me. This shit is crazy to me because, again, our culture, we like to have these certain types of talks and we have this ego that we are so smart and we're so ahead and we're not. We're just not. It's a hard pill to swallow, but we're not ahead. We're on the bench. We're still at the starting line, y'all. Because black women can't even realize that bro didn't choose her because he hate himself, but because she was the better pick. She was the better pick. When is we gonna just wake up and stop blaming everything else but ourselves? That's all I want to know. Because we wouldn't be in a lot of these situations. We wouldn't be. Until we get off that bench and stop yapping, we got a lot of barbershop talk going on. Ain't nobody really doing nothing, though. When they leave, talk to they blue in the face, but ain't nobody really doing nothing. And look, this will be outrage, right? Reeves dated the white girl, married her. It'll be outrage. 2 months or 5 years later, the same shit gonna happen again. And guess what? In 5, 6, 7 years, black women are still gonna be complaining that black men aren't dating them or black men in the NFL aren't dating them. But I guarantee you, they will have done nothing to have changed their attractability. They will have done nothing to put themselves in front of these D1 collegiate athletes. They will have done nothing to better the situation. But in 4 to 5 years, mark my words, we will still be talking about this same fucking shit. But ain't nobody gonna actually make a move to where we don't have to talk about it no more. Mark my fucking words. It's just what it is. We have these conversations about it, but in real life, nobody does anything. But they love to judge. We love to judge. Why you think it's just so deep? And then you look at the women, it's like, why you think you not finding love? Because you judging everybody else's. You putting that negative energy out there towards somebody's relationship because it's interracial, and then you think you're gonna turn around, you think the universe gonna reward you with a black dude at that point. You're not gonna reward the universe is not gonna reward you for shit because you bitter, bitch. You're bitter. You have a bad attitude and you keep putting out negative energy into the world and expecting to get positive energy back. That is the story of our culture. Put negative energy out there. We kill, rob, steal, sell drugs, poison the community, tell squares they stupid, do all this bullshit, but expect for good energy to come back to us. It's blasphemous, man. It's blasphemous. It's crazy. You fuck around, you're going to find out. And that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. That's what the women are doing. That's what we do as a culture. We fuck around and we find out. Then we want to point the finger at everybody else. That's out. Black women, be the change you want to see. If you want these D1 players, I'm going to say it one more time, go get in them environments. Go play ball for real. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if you've ever ran into black women, which I've ran into a lot of black women that are collegiate educated, go to the gym, have a good head on their shoulders. They really can't be beat. It's like a black man being collegiate educated or having, good income, being mentally sound, physically in shape. He can't be beat. 9 out of 10. If a black dude got his shit together, he look good, he walk in the room, he's gonna have the pick of the litter. I honestly believe it's the same with black women. Once she's on 10, when she got all her shit together and she's not in her, and she's in her feminine energy and she's not bitter and putting all that negative energy out there, she's in shape, mind right, they can't be beat. They're going to come in and attract attention like crazy. But we don't have a lot of that. We got a lot of fat bitches with weave and long, big ass nails and they can't wipe their ass. Let's keep it 100. That's what we got. That's what's walking into the party, into the club. Ugh, I ain't looking at that shit. What the fuck? What we talking about? But come on. Look, man. I'm just trying to give people, I'm trying to give our women the game. And I don't care if it comes off harsh because this is the reality of it. You're not gonna get something different than what you put out. So if you put out negative energy, or if you put out a lazy attempt to get a nigga, or whatever the case is, or if you were manipulative for 4 or 5 years while with bro, you think you're gonna get a baller, you gonna get a winner, you ain't gonna get shit. Universe don't reward niggas for stupid shit like that. Don't work. It don't work. Don't work, bro. It just and people don't understand sports in general. It's a nepotism game. So if I get into sports, I'm gonna be. It's like celebrities. Why do you think they bang the same 15 women? It's nepotism. It's environment. I'm not gonna go stoop lower now. What the fuck? Why would I go? Why would I go fuck on or date or marry a civilian? If I'm a celebrity, I have to stay in this environment because these people understand me. Same thing with the collegiate educated people or football players. I'm in this environment. This girl dates these type of people. Her dad is a coach. Her dad is an offensive coordinator. Her dad is the water boy, or he works at the college, whatever the case is. She's used to growing. These people be used to growing up like that. They're in that environment. So eventually that's who you're gonna mesh up with because y'all in the same environment, regardless of color. It's just what it is. We gotta understand that. What else we got? Let's see. Y'all got anything for me? Anybody? Anything in the comments? Something? Anything I want me to talk about? Man. Let's see. I just feel really passionate about that one, y'all. Like I feel like I'm tired of that double standard. I'm tired of having those types of conversations anyway when we're not doing what we're supposed to do to even be together. You feel me? So, but I'm probably about to get out of here, y'all. Thank you guys for tuning into the live, man. It was a good one. If you are watching this at this point in time, please go ahead, like, subscribe, share, man. Thank you for the love, for the hate. Also, head over to the Viral Way podcast, like, subscribe, share, run us up, get us in the algorithm, help us keep the movement moving, man. Thank you for the love, for the hate. It's all support. Kali the one. I don't know where you're going, but you got to get the hell up out of here. Peace.